Can Ted Cruz win? For many years, the Republican Party has looked for a reincarnation of Ronald Reagan, as someone who is an attractive, charismatic speaker, and someone who would try to win elections not by bridging the gap or moving to the center, but by articulating forcefully and creatively and effectively the agenda of conservatism in the United States and carrying that over the threshold to a majority. Well, in Ted Cruz, they found their man. Cruz has all of that ability, that charisma, that articulate speaking style, the creativity, and the courage to do that. The problem is that the media is still very much controlled by the left and will characterize Cruz as a bomb thrower, as someone who shut the government down, as someone who can't possibly be elected. And as 2016 approaches, Republican voters are very, very worried about their chances of winning. The confidence they had in 2012 that we could defeat Obama has evaporated. And now they're facing a serious concern about will we be able to win in 2016. So the election, the nominating process, is sort of a hybrid. On the one hand, it's choosing the candidate they like the best, but on the other hand, it's an audition to see who's most likely to make it with the American people at large. And in that role in the audition, Cruz may have problems because the average conservative voter may say, I agree with him and I like him and I think he's great, but I wonder if he can win. And that bomb thrower image really could hurt him as he moves ahead. Now, Cruz, because of his power and his charisma and his purity of position, probably has a lock on the Tea Party support. And I think as a result, he'll win many of the Tea Party straw polls, and outdistance any other conservatives in the race for the nomination. The only real threat he has on the right, or the most significant threat he has on the right, is Mike Huckabee. The Tea Party is a duality. It claims to be completely secular, focused only on government spending and economic freedom and taxation. But most of its members are also evangelical Protestants in their spare time, who are also part of the Christian coalition. And a Huckabee-Cruz contest really forces them to decide which side of the line they're going to be on. And that is increasingly hard to predict at this point. But Cruz's problem is, while winning their support, how can he convince the establishment of the Republican Party that he can be an effective candidate who can win in November? Ronald Reagan faced the exact same problem. He was opposing George Bush I, George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, in 1980 for the nomination. And also before that, Jerry Ford for the nomination in 2016. And in both cases, the big argument against Reagan was that you can't win unless you move to the center. And people would support George Bush, who at the time was pro-choice, and Jerry Ford, who basically also was, as candidates who could move to the center and attract the independent, moderate vote throughout the country. Reagan was seen as far too over to the right, and people worried that it would be a reincarnation of the Goldwater candidacy. But Reagan's articulateness, his grasp of the issues, the time and the issues had evolved to that point where government really was the enemy, was able to overcome all of that. Will Ted Cruz be able to overcome it? That's going to be a fascinating question, because Republicans always have a safe default position in Jeb Bush or in Mitt Romney. Candidates who've been vetted, where there's no issue, they can appeal to the center. The issue there is, will they really be faithful to the right? With Cruz, we have a candidate who we know will be faithful to the right, but can he win the center? Thanks for watching.